Clara was on stage, she looked angelic. The spotlight hit her blonde hair as she beamed at the crowd of Chicago's suburban elite. This was her night, the charity auction she had planned for months. My brother David stood beside me in the crowd, a ghost in a tuxedo, his hand gripping my elbow so tightly it hurt. "And finally," Clara said, her voice dripping with fake emotion, her eyes scanning the room until they found me. "I want to thank my family, my wonderful, supportive husband David." The crowd awed. David's grip tightened. "And on our new addition, my husband's sister Sarah, who is here with us tonight." The spotlight swiveled and found me. I was frozen. I could feel hundreds of eyes on me. I tried to smile. It's been a journey," Clara continued, her voice breaking perfectly. "As many of you know, we took Sarah in from a very difficult life. You know, you open your home and your heart, you take in a stray." My breath hitched. Oh my God, she was doing it. "Here now. You give them everything," she said, a tear rolling down her cheek. "You give them clothes, you give them a home, you treat them like family, and you pray that they don't repay that kindness by trying to take what is yours." A confused murmur went through the crowd. They thought it was a metaphor. But I knew, and David knew, this wasn't a speech, it was an execution. How did I get here? How did I go from her charity case to her prisoner? How did the woman I saw as my savior become the monster who was destroying me in front of everyone? It started 6 months ago with a phone call. "My name is Sarah, and 6 months ago, I was nobody. I was 22 years old, washing dishes at a greasy diner in rural Ohio. My life was a repeating loop of gray mornings and the smell of burnt coffee. I'd scroll through Instagram, seeing the glittering lights of Chicago, the lives people were living. It felt a million miles away. My older brother David had escaped years ago. He was the golden boy. 10 years older, he'd gone to college, gotten a high-paying job in finance, and he'd married Clara. Clara wasn't just a woman, she was an event. She was stunning, successful, and ran the most popular lifestyle blog in her suburban Chicago community, The Suburban Saint. She was a PTA chair, a charity fundraiser, a perfect hostess. In my eyes, she was everything I wasn't. David and I, we weren't close. We were from different worlds. But when I lost my job and my apartment in the same week, I was desperate. I called him, my voice shaking, expecting maybe a $50 loan. What I got was Clara. I heard her in the background. "Oh, for heaven's sake, David, give me that. You're useless at this." Suddenly, her voice was in my ear like warm honey. "Sarah, sweetie, David told me what happened. That's just awful. No, don't you cry." It's fine, Clara. It's not fine," she insisted, her voice full of bright, crackling energy. "You're 22. You can't just wilt away in that town. It's decided. You're coming to live with us. David and I have a huge house. It's just us and the kids. You can be my assistant. Help me with the blog. It'll be perfect. You'll get on your feet." I sobbed, not in sadness, but in overwhelming relief. She was offering me a lifeline, an escape. She was my savior. The first month was a dream. Their house was perfect. A gleaming, sterile, beautiful prison of beige and white, like something out of her blog. Clara was amazing. She took me shopping. "We have to get you out of those diner rags, sweetie," she'd said with a laugh that was almost kind. "First impressions are everything." She bought me outfits I could never have afforded. She taught me how to use her scheduling software, how to manage her blog's comments, how to arrange flowers for her endless dinner parties. We even had a dinner party in my honor. "This is Sarah," she announced to her beautiful, wealthy friends. "My husband's sister. She's my new right-hand woman. She's an absolute natural. I don't know how I ever did this without her." I beamed. I felt special. I felt seen. David was nice, but distant, a ghost. He worked long, brutal hours, coming home after the kids were in bed. He'd ruffle my hair. "Hey, kiddo, settling in?" before Clara would pull him away. "David, honey, we must discuss the caterer for the fundraiser." He seemed tired, so tired, but they were the perfect couple. And I was the perfect little helper. I got their 2 kids, Ben and Chloe, ready for school. I did the grocery runs, I prepped vegetables, I answered her emails. I was so grateful. I would have done anything for her. I wanted to be her. The change, it was so gradual I almost didn't notice it. A slow dripping tap of poison. It started with small corrections. "Sarah, sweetie," she called from the living room. I ran in. "Yes, Clara?" You folded these throw blankets wrong. The tag is supposed to face in. It's just messy, don't you think? I've showed you this. Details, Sarah. It's the details that matter. Her smile was tight. "Oh, I'm so sorry, Clara. It's fine," she sighed, refolding it herself with a flourish. "It's fine." Then it was the groceries. "Sarah, I asked for organic, free-range, soy-free, hand-massaged kale. This is just conventional. They were out of the other kind. Did you ask them to check the back? You'll have to go back. I can't serve this to the kids. You know how I feel about pesticides." The store was a 25-minute drive. "But it's starting to rain, Clara." "I know, honey, but it needs to be done. Thanks." And she turned back to her laptop. It became a constant stream of criticism. My cooking was too rustic. My cleaning was not thorough. The way I dressed the kids was sloppy. The compliments stopped. The praise was replaced by a sigh, a disappointed headshake. One afternoon, she was dictating a blog post to me, a post about the joy of gratitude. "Type this," she said, not looking at me. "Gratitude is the single most important virtue. It's about recognizing the blessings in your life, the people who lift you up." I was typing. She paused and looked at the coffee I just made her. She took a sip, her face wrinkled, and not taking those blessings for granted. She pushed the cup away. "This is bitter, Sarah. You scorched the beans again. It's just bitter, like some people's attitudes. Get me another one." She'd make comments in front of her friends. "Oh, Sarah, she's my little charity case. My husband's sister. She's learning. It's a process. Bless her heart." And her friends would titter, looking at me with that awful, polite pity. I felt myself shrinking. The bright, confident girl who arrived in Chicago was disappearing. I was the clumsy, stupid, ungrateful diner girl again. And David? He didn't see it, or he pretended not to. He'd come home and Clara would be all smiles. "Hi, darling. How was your day?" Sarah and I had a wonderful afternoon planning the auction. I would just stand in the kitchen, my hands raw from scrubbing grout on her orders, and say, nothing. The house wasn't a dream, it was a gilded cage, and I was the help. The breaking point, the night it all cracked open, came on a Tuesday. Clara was on a tear. The charity auction was 2 weeks away, and she was in charge. The house was a war zone of seating charts and flower arrangements. "Sarah!" she shrieked from her office. "The calligrapher just canceled. The name cards, they're not done. This is a disaster." I can write them, Clara," I offered. "I have decent handwriting." "What?" She looked at me like I'd just offered to perform surgery. With your handwriting? No, it has to be perfect. My God, you're useless in a crisis." She started pacing, her nails tapping on her phone. Okay, new plan. You," she said, pointing at me, "are going to take the kids to the diner for dinner. I can't have them underfoot. I have to find a new calligrapher. David's working late. Just take them. Go." The diner? "Yes, that little place you like, the Nook or whatever. Take my car. Here." She shoved her credit card at me. "And don't let them have soda, just water, and no dessert." The diner was chaos. It was 6 p.m. Ben, who was 7, was hyper. Chloe, who was 5, was cranky. I tried to manage them in the booth, but they were loud. People were staring. "Ben, please sit down. Ben!" He ignored me, making airplane noises with his fries. Chloe started to cry. "I want Mommy. I don't like this place. It smells." "I know, honey, I know. Here, have some water." As I reached for her cup, Ben slammed his fist on the table. "I want a milkshake." The water cup tipped, flew, and emptied its entire ice-cold contents right into my lap. "Oh," I gasped, jumping up, completely soaked. "Wah!" Chloe started screaming. I was trying to clean up the mess with napkins, my face burning with humiliation when she walked in. Clara. She stood at the entrance, her face like thunder. She strode over to our table. "What?" she said, her voice dangerously quiet, "is going on here?" "Clara, Ben knocked the water, and Chloe's upset. I'm so sorry. You can't even handle a simple dinner?" she hissed, her eyes like ice. "Look at this. They're screaming. You're soaked. People are staring at us. This is humiliating. It was an accident. Mommy," Chloe wailed, reaching for her. Clara picked her up, ignoring me completely. "It's okay, baby. Mommy's here. That's it. We're leaving." She grabbed Ben by the arm. "You, car, now." She threw a $20 bill on the table, not even looking at the check. She turned back to me, her voice a low snarl. "You are unbelievable. You can't do one simple thing right. You're just as useless as you were in that pathetic town. Walk home. I don't want you dripping in my car." She spun around and marched out, leaving me there, soaked, freezing, and utterly broken. I walked home. It was over a mile. It had started to rain. By the time I got back, the car was in the drive. I let myself in. The house was quiet. Clara and the kids were nowhere to be seen. I found David in the kitchen. He was leaning against the counter, his tie loosened, a glass of whiskey in his hand. He looked haunted. He looked up as I came in, dripping on the floor. "Sarah? God, you're soaked. What happened?" And I just broke. I collapsed onto a kitchen stool and started to cry. Not just crying, but sobbing. The kind of sobs that tear out of your throat. Hey, whoa! He was at my side in an instant. "Sarah, what is it? What happened?" Through my tears, I told him. Everything. The diner, the spilled water, what Clara had said. She said I was useless, pathetic. She made me walk home. David was silent. He just listened. His face grew dark. "I'm so sorry, David." I wept. I'm just a burden. I mess everything up. She's right. I should just go. I'll pack my things. "No." His voice was firm. He kneeled in front of me, putting his hands on my shoulders. "No, Sarah, you are not going anywhere." He looked me right in the eyes. "You are not useless. You are not pathetic. You are kind, and you're trying your best in an impossible situation." "But Clara," he sighed, running a hand through his hair. She gets like this. The pressure, the parties, this image she has to maintain. It makes her cruel. She wasn't always like this." He looked so sad, so beaten. She does this to me too," he said so quietly I could barely hear him. "When we're alone, nothing I do is good enough. The bonus I got wasn't big enough. The vacation I planned wasn't Instagrammable enough. I'm so tired, Sarah. God, I'm so lonely." In that moment, he wasn't my successful older brother. He wasn't Clara's perfect husband. He was just David, a man who was just as lonely and trapped as I was. She hasn't really touched me in, I don't know, he confessed, his voice breaking. I sleep in the guest room half the time. She says she needs her beauty sleep. I'm just a prop. The successful husband, and I'm so tired of pretending. I covered his hand with mine. "I know," I whispered. I feel it too. I'm so lonely here." He turned his hand over, his fingers lacing with mine. It wasn't brotherly. It was something else, an electric current. He looked at our hands, then at me. You're the only real thing in this house, Sarah." That night, something shifted. He had seen me. He had defended me. And I had seen him. The affair, it didn't start with a kiss. It started with that conversation. It became our secret, our ritual. Clara would go to bed. She always slept in the master bedroom, while he slept in the guest room down the hall from me. "I can't have him snoring and ruining my REM cycle," she'd say. Around midnight, I'd hear his door creak. I'd meet him in the dark kitchen. We'd talk for hours. We'd share a bottle of wine, our voices low whispers. We'd talk about our childhood, about our dreams, about how much we both hated her. She's a monster," he'd whisper, his hand on my knee, "a beautiful, smiling monster." Why do you stay, David?" "The kids," he'd always say. And she'd She'd destroy me. She'd take everything. It was a slow burn. The touches lingered. His hand on my back as I passed him in the hall. My hand on his arm when he'd confess how she'd belittled him that day. The tension, it was unbearable. It was hot. This forbidden, shared secret. The first kiss, it was a week later in the pantry. She had sent me to get some quinoa. He followed me in. He just closed the door. He didn't say anything. He just put his hands on my face and he kissed me. It wasn't a romance kiss. It was desperate. It was hungry. It was two people, starved of affection, finally eating. It was wrong. I knew it was wrong. This was my brother. This was my savior's husband. But it was the only thing that made me feel alive. Sarah, he breathed, his mouth against mine. God, Sarah, I need this. I need you. It kept happening. Stolen glances across the dinner table that were so intense I was terrified Clara would see. Brushing hands in the hallway, which led to him pulling me into a coat closet, his mouth on mine, his hands gripping my waist. We were careful, so careful. But we got careless, then came the night of the storm. Clara was supposed to be at a gala. The kids were at a sleepover. A massive thunderstorm was rolling through. We were in her bed. The master bedroom, the one she wouldn't defile with him. It was a transgression, a deliberate act of defiance. We were entangled. The storm was cover. The thunder was rattling the windows. We didn't hear the garage door. We didn't hear the car. The storm was too loud. We didn't hear the front door. We didn't hear her footsteps on the stairs, muffled by the carpet. The bedroom door, flew open. I screamed. Clara was standing in the doorway, soaked from the rain, her hair a mess, her makeup running. Her phone was in her hand, the flashlight on, illuminating us. Her eyes were wide. The silence, it was deafening. It lasted an eternity. David scrambled off me, pulling the sheets. Clara, oh my God, Clara, it's not what it looks like. Clara didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just smiled. A slow, cold, terrifying smile. It's not what it looks like? She repeated, her voice perfectly calm. David, you are on top of your sister in my bed. I think it's exactly what it looks like. She raised her phone. Clara, no, David yelled, lunging. Oh, stay right there, she said, her voice like ice. In fact, smile, she said. Clara, please. I was sobbing, trying to cover myself. Please, we can explain. Oh, I'm sure you can, she said. She lowered the phone. Thank you, David. Thank you, Sarah. You've just made this so much easier. She turned and walked out of the room. We heard her walk down the stairs. We heard the front door open and close. She was gone. She came back 3 days later. We'd been living in a panic-stricken hell, calling her, texting, no answer. She walked in like nothing had happened. She was in a new outfit. Her hair was perfect. Hello, David. Sarah, she said, putting her keys in a bowl. We need to talk. We sat in the living room. So, she said, sipping at tea, we have two options. Clara, please, David begged. It was a mistake. I was option one, she said, cutting him off, her eyes fixed on me. I released the photos and the video. It's very well lit. I send them to my entire blog mailing list, my PTA group, the neighbors. I send them to your mother. I tell the world how my pathetic charity case sister-in-law repaid my kindness by seducing my husband. I will destroy you, Sarah. You will never, ever recover. I felt the blood drain from my face. I was going to be sick. Or, she continued, taking another sip. Option two. You both, I'd stay right here. David, you will continue to be the perfect husband. You will be more attentive. You will worship me in public. You will never sleep in the guest room again. You will perform your duties. And you, Sarah, she looked at me, her smile returning. You are no longer my assistant. You are the maid. You will cook, you will clean, you will serve us. You will not be paid, you will earn your keep, you will atone every single day. You're insane, David whispered. Am I? She snapped, her voice finally cracking. You did this in my bed. You want to talk about insane? This is mercy. She stood up. So, what will it be? Public annihilation or private penance? And that's when our new life began. The last 2 weeks have been a living hell. She makes me not serve them dinner. She makes David touch her at the table. He'll put his hand on hers, and she'll smile at me. Sarah, she'll say, her voice sweet as poison. David's glass is empty. Fill it for him, like a good girl. And I have to. My hand's shaking. He can't even look at me. She makes me clean the master bathroom while she's in the tub with bubbles. You missed a spot, Sarah, she'll say, pointing her toe. Right by my foot. Get it. And she locks us in. She's terrified we'll be together. She took our phones. Yesterday she locked us in the basement together. You two seem to like dark, secret places, she had said through the door. You can talk down there. For a few hours, we just sat in the dark in silence. This brings us to tonight, the auction. You're going, she informed me, and you will smile. You will act like nothing is wrong. You will be the perfect, grateful little sister, and I have a special speech planned just for you. And that's where we started. Her on the stage, the spotlight on me. You take in a stray. David's hand is gripping my arm, and they try to take what is yours. She smiles, waiting for me to break, to cry, to run. But she made a mistake. She's so focused on me. She's forgotten David isn't just her prop. He's her partner. He knows her secrets. The secrets he whispered to me in the dark, in the basement. The auction, he'd whispered, his voice no longer weak but cold. She's been borrowing from the PTA funds for years to fund her blog, her clothes. I have the bank statements. I've been covering for her. She thinks she's going to destroy me tonight, but as she pauses for effect, David lets go of my arm. He's pale and shaking, but he starts to walk. David? Clara falters, her smile twitching. Darling, what are you doing? He doesn't stop. He walks to the sound booth. She's right, David says, his voice suddenly booming across the entire ballroom. Clara freezes. Family Shuck does disappoint you. He turns on the projector. But it's not the video of me. It's spreadsheets. It's bank statements, transfers from the PTA Children's Fund to Clara Inc. The room goes silent. David walks to the stage. He takes the microphone from her frozen hand. My wife has been borrowing from the Children's Fund for 2 years, he says, his voice clear and cold. To fund this, her blog, her life. She was going to tell you all about how I disappointed her. She forgot to tell you this part. Chaos erupted. I don't stay to watch. I turn and walk out. I walk out of the auction. I walk out of her perfect cold house. I don't pack a bag. I just walk. I walk to the train station. I left my phone on the bench. I don't know what happened to David or to Clara. I don't care. He wasn't my savior. He was just another cage. I'm working at a diner again, in a different state, a different small town. But this time, I'm not dreaming of a big city. I'm not waiting for a savior. I'm just saving myself